Hello everyone, welcome. It's Juliet here, and today we are going to learn how to make these little Navigator earrings, which are made using supplies out of the Treasures of Time Lite collection from Eureka Crystal Beads. So if you are interested in finding out more about that collection, I will put a link down below, and all of the beads, including these earring findings that I just love, they're so cute, that I'm using today did come out of that collection. The only thing I added, you will need a jump ring. That is not included in the collection. Also, you will need some beading thread and a beading needle, which is obviously also not included. So today I'm using this OneG in the sand color, and I will put a link for all of that down below, from Eureka, so you can, if you need to order that, you can. The reason I'm using this thread is, so these Delicas here, these are 15-0 Delicas, and they are actually quite clear. You can kind of see through them. So I just wanted to use a thread that would blend in very nicely. So you can see the Delicas here on the edge, and they do give a bit of sparkle on that central area as well. And there's some in here as well. They're quite sparkly, which is really nice. The other really fun thing that we are using today, well, we're using a couple fun things. So first of all, these are 15-0 Delicas. A lot of people just think Delicas are one size, but they come in lots of different sizes. So these are 15-0 Delicas. Again, I'll put the item number and everything down below for you. So that's one fun thing we're using. Another fun thing we are using are these 8-0 Delicas that we got in the Treasures of Time collection. So we're going to be using some of those as well. And the third thing we're going to be using are these size 10-0 beads that we got in this mix, a Miyuki mix, okay, that came in the collection. And I just want to quickly show you the size difference, because it's actually really interesting. Okay, so this, let me zoom you in. This is an 11-0. This is a 10-0, and this is an 8-0. So you can see there is a size difference there. Okay, so this is the 8-0. That I believe is a 10-0, and that's an 11-0. Okay, and then we could, find a 6-0 probably in here as well. I'm looking, I think these might be 6-0. There's a 6-0, and I think these are 5-0. So I believe we have here 5, a 6, an 8, a 10, and an 11. Okay, so kind of interesting. These might be 9-0, but anyway, all I did here was I just picked those out from my mix. Okay, so just if you have that mix, you can just kind of dig in there and pull those ones out. Then I am also, so that's what these are here. We are also using, it's the 11-0 beads that were included in this gorgeous like brown iris color. You can see I've used quite a lot of them already. Number 458. I've made another necklace and another pendant as well, but I thought they were like too complicated really for a video, so that's why I'm not showing you those. I'm also using these Toho Magatamas 4mm in the color bronze that were included. Those are right up here. Obviously I've told you already about the 8-0 Delicas. You will need your own jump rings. Here we have a 4mm crystal round. These are Krakovski crystal rounds. Again, I've used quite a lot of these already, but they do come in your collection as well. And then we have these Czech Druks, or Czech glass rounds, that also came in our collection. We got a whole strand of those. And then you're also going to need here, I have a little 2 by 3 millimeter crystal rondelle. These are Chinese crystal rondelles in this really pretty bronze kind of color, and then the 15 O's, okay? So that is everything. Obviously, also you'll need an earring finding, and I just love these little stars. I think they work perfectly. And when I was making this, I wanted to make something that looked a little bit like a navigational tool, like a sextant or, you know, something like that. So, and I think I succeeded. I think I did. So anyway, all right, let's get started. Okay, so to begin, you're going to pick up one of your 6 millimeter Czech glass rounds or Czech glass Druks. You're going to push it down and leave a 4-inch tail. Okay, so just hold it in place, leaving the tail. And you're going to pick up an 8/0 Delica. You're going to pick up 3 of your 11 O's. And you're going to pick up 1 more Delica. You're going to go up through the other side of the Druk to form a semicircle like this. And then I like to just flip it over with my finger, makes it a little easier. Again, you're going to repeat. So you're going to pick up an 8/0 Delica, 3 11 O's, and 1 more 8/0 Delica. Okay, so, and you're going to again sew up into the bottom of the same bead, and we're going to put the same thing on the other side like this. Then pick a side. I like to sew again through my first side. So just sew through all of the beads on that first side, the 8/0, and just make sure that you're not missing any of them. It's very simple to think, because the 8/0 is a different size, that you're going through some beads and then discover later that you're not. Okay, and here at this big gap here, we're going to add 3 more of our 11 O's, and then we're going to pass through the other side, all of those beads, and we're going to one more time add 3 more 11 O's, and go ahead, pass through the first 8/0 and the first 11/0. And give that a pull. Okay, so now we're going to pass around the circle again, but we're going to skip the middle seed bead on each section. So I'm coming out from the very first seed bead here. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to go through the next 11, the next 8/0, and the next 11 like this. And I'm going to pull, and what I want to do is I want the middle seed bead of this little group to stand out to the edge, and you may have to kind of pop it out with your needle, but you want it to form into a kind of a corner there. Okay, and we're going to repeat this on all 4 sides. So again, skip that middle one and go through the third, through the 8/0, and then the first of the next group. And again, you're gonna need to kind of pull, and helps if you actually do the right side. Pull and pop that corner out. There we go. So go ahead, do the other 2 corners so that your corners are then squared off. Okay, so I just popped out my 4th corner right here, and I'm coming out the very first seed bead from the first corner there. And you will notice that up here and down here, you will be able to see a bit of thread, just because it had a way to travel, okay? So go ahead and move forward until you come out from one of your 8/0 Delicas. And then you're going to pick up 2 of your 15-0 Delicas. And we're going to skip over the 3 seed beads here, and we're going to go straight into the next 8-0 Delica. And you're going to pull, and what you want is you want that little line of 15 O's to sit right at the front and kind of right up next to your Druk. So you want them to go like that, okay? So you may have to, again, kind of manhandle your beads a little bit to get them to go in the right position for you, okay? So there they are. So you're going to do that 3 more times, picking up 2 15 O's. Okay, and again, just go straight into the very next 8-0 Delica and pull, making sure that that goes onto the top of your beads. And just take your time doing this bit. You don't need to rush, okay? So I'm gonna do the other 2 sides and then I'll come back. Okay, so when you finish that, you should have 4 little areas with your little 15 O's in between here. And it just, I know it's kind of hard to see it, but it just kind of finishes that off and kind of hides that thread that was showing there. It helps if you kind of push your groups down around. So when you pull really tight, it's going to pull upwards like this. But you don't want to pull so tight that it's going to do that. So just kind of push it so that it's kind of flat, okay? And once you've done that, you should be coming out from one of your 8 O's. So we're going to pass up into the second seed bead, the one that's kind of our corner seed bead, okay? And we're going to pick up 9 of our 15 O's. Okay, so 3 groups of 3, that is 9 15 O's that I have. I'm coming out this corner and I'm going straight into the next corner over here. And so it's going to make a loop like this, and then I'm going to pick up 9 more, and then I'm going to go into the next corner. Okay, so you should now have something that looks a bit like this. Go ahead, move up to the very next corner just by passing through the next 11s, the 8-0, and then the 2 11s, okay? You're going to pick up one of your Toho Magatamas. You're going to pick up 3 seed beads, 11 rounds, and 1 more Magatama. Okay. And you're going to pass into that same bead again, like this. Okay. And don't worry if it kind of looks a little weird or whatever. Right now we're gonna pass through it again to kind of help it settle a little better in a minute. All right. So go ahead, pass down through the next 11-0, the next 8-0, and then the next 2 11-0s, and the very first 15-0. So you want to come out the very first 15-0, okay? And just pull that so that your top is nice and tight and it doesn't feel loose, okay? So here we're going to pick up 1 11-0. We're going to skip the next 15-0 and we're going into the next one. So we're kind of doing peyote here, okay? You're going to, again, pick up another, skip the next one, go into the next bead. Just try and keep your tail out of the way. Another, skip the next bead, go into the next bead. And one more. Skip the next bead, go into the next bead. And then you can go ahead and pass through the 11-0 as well. So I'm going through the very last bead and the 11-0. So you should now have something like this, okay? And we're going to repeat on the other side. So go ahead, enter into that very first 15-0. And then you're going to peyote stitch 4 11-0s along this bit. So skip the next bead and go into the next bead with an 11-0. Skip the next bead, go into the next bead. Skip the next bead, go into the next one, and then one more. Skip the next bead, go into the last bead and up through the two 11s and through the 8-0 and through just the very next 11-0. So you don't want to go all the way up into that middle one. We're just kind of come out from our first 11-0 here at the top. It can be a little bit tricky to get in there. Okay, so I'm coming out from this 11-0 right here, and this time instead of going in and around, I'm going to go over the top. So just go ahead, sew up into the Magatama, then sew through your 3 seed beads, and down through the other Magatama, and then down into the 3rd seed bead, and then you can pass through the 8-0 as well. Okay, so I'm going through the Magatama, the first seed bead here before the 8-0, and then the 8-0. And that is going to help keep our top nice and straight. Okay, go ahead, pass down through the first 2 11-0s, the 15-0, and then come out from the first 11-0. So you're going through 11, 11, 15, 11. Okay. So here we're going to start adding in our 10-0 beads. So you're going to pick up a 10-0, go into the next 11-0. Pick up a 10-0, go into the next 11-0. Pick up a 10-0, go into the next 11-0. And here we're going to pick up our 4mm crystal. And you're going to go all the way, just jump straight across into the next 11-0. You might need to kind of give that a pull to fit it in there, okay? And then we're going to add 3 of our 10-0s on this side as well. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we now have this. So we're now going to need to pass around all of our beads again, and it's kind of up to you if you want to go over the top, if you just want to cut through the middle, because, you know, just follow a path that you want to take. Okay, and when you get to the other side, you're going to pass around and you're going to exit from the 4mm. Okay, so when you're coming out from the 4mm bead, you are going to pick up a Magatama. You're going to pick up a one of our 8/0 Delicas, okay? You're going to pick up one of your crystal rondelles and one seed bead. Okay, so this is what we have. Magatama, 8/0, crystal rondelle, and seed bead. Push all of it down. Skip the seed bead. So don't sew back up into the seed bead. Skip that seed bead and just sew back up through the crystal and the 8/0. But not the Magatama, okay? And what you can do is just kind of tug on that seed bead to get this snugged up. Then we're going to pick up one more Magatama, and we're going to pass into the other side, the original side of our crystal, like this. Okay, and it's going to create a little fringe, and what you're going to need to do here to kind of straighten it is just pull on that little bottom bead, try and get the tension as even as you can. And you'll notice there is a tiny bit of thread showing right here. Don't worry about that. We're gonna hide that in 1 second, okay? So now we're going to one more time pass around the beads, and again, just pick the path that works for you. There is no kind of right or wrong. And when you get back to the first 10/0 on this side, I'll come back and show you what to do. Okay, so I have sewn over, I actually sewed through the 15s here and down, but it doesn't matter which way you go. So you're gonna, I'm coming out from this first 10/0. You want to sew forward till you're coming out from the second 10/0. Okay, so come out from the second one. Then you're going to pick up 5 of your 15/0s. Okay, and we're going to sew down into our Magatama, down through the 8/0, the crystal, and through the seed bead at the bottom. Okay, and then sew back up through the crystal, the 8/0, and the other Magatama on the other side. Again, pick up 5 of your 15/0s. And sew into the second of the 3 10/0s. Okay, so that should now have a little row of 15/0s at the bottom there, like that. Okay, so now our earring is mostly done. We just need to add our jump ring at the top, tie in your threads, and then that's all there is to it. Okay, one thing I do want to mention about the Magatamas that I have noticed is that some of them have much larger holes. For example, that one compared to this one. So for the bottom here, you may want to pick ones with smaller holes so that the 15/0 doesn't go inside it and kind of make it look uneven, okay? So just be aware when you're picking your Magatamas, maybe pick ones with smaller holes for down here, okay? Doesn't matter up here, but down here you might want to pick ones with smaller holes. Okay, so I'm just going to tie off my threads and add on my jump ring, and then I'll come back and show you the finished earrings. Okay, here they are, my little Navigator earrings, and I think they came out so cute. I just love them. I love the earring top with them, and I really like this design. Oh, it's kind of nice and simple, but I think it also looks really cool, you know. It's kind of unique, and it just looks interesting. So anyway, I hope you try these if you have the collection. And if you are interested, again, just I'll put a link down below. You can click through. It's like a really good bargain. You get so many beads in this collection. And I do have an unboxing if you want to watch that as well. But I mean, I have also made, I'm going to quickly show you what else I've made here. So I made this. I was kind of thinking maybe like a pendant or something, I don't know. And then I have also made this, which I'm still working on, this necklace here out of this collection. Sorry, bits of thread everywhere. Let me move these so you guys can actually see. So I was planning to put some little drops using the crystals that we just used, possibly a drops down here, and then also at the connection points on my necklace here. So you can see I've been having a blast, and I used one of the cool brass beads here as well. So I have just been having so much fun with this collection. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, so hopefully you like these little Navigator earrings. This is the thing that I thought was going to end up being way too complicated to kind of teach you guys. So anyway, I'm making a lot of stuff out of it, and it's a really fun collection. So do go and check it out. Okay, all right guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you make these earrings, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.